Hey, how's it going guys? I'm Monkey Bean and today... Wait, what's that smell? Seriously, what is that? It smells delicious. Oh shit, it's a top 10 video. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, that's right, 10. 10 free games for Steam. You'll never see a deal like that in your life, so quick, buy now. Seriously though, I'm pretty excited about this video because I didn't realise how many good free games are actually out there. I tried to go a different route with some of my choices, and maybe throw in a few games you wouldn't normally think of, so hopefully this list is full of new games for you guys to try out. Coming in at number 10, we've got the brand new Fortnite Battle Royale game mode. Battle Royale games are blowing up at the moment, and Fortnite's adaptation of the genre holds up pretty well on its own. It's a much faster and more casual game than PUBG, which makes it a great way to try out the genre and see if you actually enjoy it. To get the game, simply download the Epic Launcher, which, and this is a big hint here, has a few other pretty good free games featured as well, and download Fortnite. The main PvE content is locked until you buy the game, but the Battle Royale stuff is completely free and is well worth trying out. In at number 9 is Fallout Shelter. When this game originally came out on mobile, I thought this would be a sign of how awesome the subtle interactions would be in Fallout. Whilst that didn't end up being the case, Fallout Shelter is a great game in its own right that has received constant updates since its release. It's pretty much a light city building game, except your city is an underground vault, and it's got a ton of features and content including the recent quest system and vault experiments. In my experience, this is a great game to have on your laptop during like a class or a university lecture. It doesn't need all your attention, so you can still kind of focus on the lecture. But if that proves dull, there's still stuff to do in the game. If you now fail your classes, that's not my fault. For number 8, I've got the first inevitable MOBA on the list, Smite. The reason why I've decided to mention this one is that, like with Fortnite BR, Smite is, at least initially, a much lighter and more casual experience. The third person perspective is likely to be much more familiar and less confusing to new MOBA players. And the auto-buy feature means that if you aren't interested in character builds, you can just focus on gameplay instead. Like all MOBAs, there's a huge learning curve when it comes to getting good, but this is definitely a MOBA you can also just chill out with, and believe me, for a MOBA that's rare. For number 7, I've gone with Dirty Bomb. Hero shooters are, right now, probably the most popular FPSs out there, and Dirty Bomb is one of the best free options in that genre. It feels like TF2 and Call of Duty rolled up into one, with a little bit of a sprinkling of Rainbow Six Siege over the top, and it really does feel fun to play. If you want a hero shooter that doesn't feel like you're murdering Pixar characters, Dirty Bomb will give you hours of entertainment, though to access all content it will require either a significant time investment or some money. For number 6, I've gone with Collectible Car Games. I'll level with you guys, I'm not really into them. That being said, it's hard to deny their popularity, though even then that's not always the case. Still, there's millions of players who log into Hearthstone, and it's got a massive competitive scene that just can't be ignored, so maybe it'll be for you. If you're a fan of The Witcher, you might be familiar with Gwent. One of my friends spent more time playing Gwent in Witcher 3 than he did actually playing the game, so it's no surprise that CD Projekt Red came out with a standalone version. If you like Elder Scrolls, I also hear that the Elder Scrolls Legends is a pretty good game that adds a different form of gameplay that includes stuff like lanes and other stuff. So yeah, they aren't for me really, but maybe they'll be for you. For a whopping price of nothing, it can't do any harm to try them out. In at number 5 is No One Lives Forever. These games are classics, true examples of single player shooters done right. Funny stories, wacky characters, and a slick 60s spy vibe. They're a bit long in the tooth, but they're still great fun to play. Many have called out for the games to be released via Good Old Games, but the licenses are stuck in admin hell, so for the time being, some lovely soul has released the full games, complete with the latest community patches, all for free. I've only played the second game, but even just the thought of going back and killing ninjas with throwing stars in the opening level has already made it worth a download for me personally, and I'm sure it will be for you too. At number 4, the next inevitable MOBA appears on our list. You've been expecting it, you've wondered where it is, well, it's here. It's finally appeared on the top 10 free games list. League of Legends. I'm going to assume that pretty much everyone watching this is fully aware of what League of Legends is, so all I'm going to say is, it's free, it'll keep you going for years if you invest yourself in it, and also the upcoming rune updates finally make the game fairer to new players. Can you tell I really don't like League of Legends? Yeah, I really don't.
At peace with yourself, you will be.
Coming in at number 3, I've got a pretty controversial addition to the list. Pokemon Uranium. When it came out last year, it was up for under a week before it got nuked. Ha! Get it? Nuked. Uranium. Nuked. By Nintendo's lawyers, which surprised pretty much nobody. The thing is, once something gets out on the internet, particularly something popular, it's never going away. The developers may have stopped, but the community didn't, and the game can still very easily be found today. In fact, I found it simply by searching for it on Reddit. For obvious reasons, I'm going to have to suggest you do that yourself. I can't really link it. As it stands, Uranium is a pretty solid Pokemon game with some new additions that actually work really well. So if you like Pokemon or you just want a solid JRPG that will last for a decent amount of time, this free Pokemon game will absolutely do the job. Next on my list at number 2 is another controversial game, Paladins. Most people probably know the game as the Overwatch ripoff, but the reality is that it's actually a very good game on its own right. Like Overwatch, it takes MOBA elements and mixes them into FPS gameplay, but Paladins actually takes it a step further. The card system within the game allows you to customize each character to your liking, amplifying different abilities to match the way you play the game. Sure, Overwatch is more popular, but if you don't want to shell out for the game, then Paladins is a very good way of seeing if you enjoy Overwatch. And it's actually just a very good game in its own right. Finally, we get to number 1. It's been a long road, but we're here, with one last free PC game that I'm sure you guys will love. Except that it's not a PC game. Not really. When I came over to PC from consoles, there was one game that I wished could just come with me. Halo 3. Well, the community clearly agreed with me, and so they took the code of the failed Russian Halo Online game, which is built using the Halo 3 engine, and repurposed it to create a free online version of Halo 3. Sure, it's beginning to feel dated. It's 10 years old, which is fucking terrifying. But if you enjoyed the Halo back in the day, this game will take you on a trip down memory lane. Sure, this isn't the top entry in the list for everyone, but for me, this is the ultimate free PC game. So there you go, there's my top 10 free PC games. Though actually, the Epic launcher has 2 other free games, and I mentioned 3 CCGs. So actually I mentioned like 14, 15 games. Aren't you lucky? Hopefully you guys found some stuff on here that you haven't seen before, and hopefully you've got some games now to keep you going. As ever, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.
You'll find the times of each section so that you can skip to whatever you need. So, before we even think about recording anything, I want to go over what basic things you'll need before you can think about starting to